13 fuel-saving secrets that could put hundreds of dollars back in your pocket every year, and the gas station industry has zero incentive to share any of them with you. Most drivers have no idea how the fuel business actually works. 3 to 7 cents. That's the entire profit a gas station makes per gallon, which shakes out to less than 2% margin on every fill-up. Real money flows from somewhere else entirely, with 68% of gas station profits coming from convenience store sales rather than the pumps outside. Station owners want you walking through those doors to grab snacks and drinks, not standing at the pump figuring out how to spend less on fuel. What we're covering today starts with a $2.1 billion myth draining American wallets and ends with a maintenance fix that can boost your fuel economy by up to 40%. Every fact comes straight from verified research by AAA, the Department of Energy, Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and the EPA, so let's get into it. $2.1 billion vanishes from American wallets every single year on premium gasoline that does absolutely nothing for the cars burning it. AA dug into this back in 2016 and discovered that 70% of vehicles on the road need only regular gasoline, with a mere 16% actually requiring premium. None of that stopped over 16.5 million Americans from pumping premium into their tanks more than 270 million times in a single year when their engines couldn't tell the difference. Greg Brannon, who serves as AAA's Director of Automotive Engineering, cut straight to the point when he explained that premium gasoline is higher octane, not higher quality. Octane measures nothing more than fuel's resistance to knocking or premature detonation inside the engine, and it has zero connection to cleanliness, quality, or performance for vehicles that weren't engineered to need it. Federal Trade Commission officials have stated plainly that running higher octane gasoline than your owner's manual recommends delivers no improvement in performance or fuel efficiency under normal driving conditions. 50 cents extra per gallon for premium adds up fast, and if your manual calls for regular, switching down saves around $300 annually. Something gas stations will never splash across their big price signs is the difference detergent additives make in your fuel. Forget octane for a minute because AAA ran tests in 2016 proving that top-tier gasoline keeps engines 19 times cleaner than non-top-tier fuel after just 4,000 miles. 19 times isn't a rounding error or a marginal edge. That kind of engine protection costs roughly 3 cents more per gallon on average. John Nielsen over at AAA admitted his organization was caught off guard by how dramatically detergent additives affect gasoline quality, pointing out that tested top-tier gasolines kept engines remarkably cleaner than competing fuels. Barely 12% of consumers pick gas stations based on detergent packages, though, with the overwhelming majority chasing the lowest price on the sign. Shell, Chevron, Exxon, Mobil, Costco, Marathon, Valero, and Phillips. 66 all carry the top-tier certification among others, and here's what trips up most drivers. Every octane grade at a top-tier station meets the enhanced cleaning standard, so you don't need premium to unlock the benefits. Regular unleaded pumped at a top-tier station actually protects your engine better than premium from a station without the certification, making those 3 extra cents per gallon pay for themselves and reduce carbon buildup. Frustration is the only reasonable response once you understand what happens every time you top off your tank. Squeezing that handle after the pump clicks sends excess fuel straight back into the station's vapor recovery system, which means you're paying for gasoline that never reaches your tank. Damage extends beyond your wallet because that habit can destroy your vehicle's onboard refueling vapor recovery system, and replacing the charcoal canister runs anywhere from $200 to $1,500. Check engine lights and ground pollution round out the consequences. Engineers designed that click to protect you, so honor it. Oak Ridge National Laboratory devoted serious research hours to measuring how driving behavior affects fuel consumption, and their findings should reshape how you approach the gas pedal. Highway driving with an aggressive foot costs 15 to 30% of your fuel economy, and city traffic punishes lead-footed drivers even harder with penalties reaching 10 to 40% of fuel wasted. John Thomas, who led the research team, noted that their data confirmed aggressive driving hurts fuel economy probably more than most people assume. Translated into money, aggressive habits burn the equivalent of 25 cents to $1.53 extra per gallon. Every stomp on the accelerator and every hard brake throws cash out your exhaust pipe. Taking roughly 5 seconds to reach 10 miles per hour from a dead stop makes a measurable difference according to Department of Energy recommendations. Coasting toward red lights rather than charging up and slamming the brakes saves fuel too, and cruise control on highways eliminates the constant speed fluctuations that drain your tank. Habit changes this simple can push fuel economy up more than 10% without any mechanical work. Speed feels good but costs plenty, and the data from Oak Ridge National Laboratory leaves nowhere to hide. Testing on 74 vehicles pinpointed optimal fuel economy between 40 and 50 miles per hour for most cars and light trucks. Push beyond 50, and every additional 5 miles per hour burns roughly 7% more fuel, translating to about 27 cents wasted per gallon. Researchers at AAA Southern California clocked a 9% fuel economy drop when vehicles cruised at 70 instead of 65 miles per hour, which hits your wallet like paying 38 cents extra per gallon just to arrive slightly sooner. Climbing from 60 to 80 miles per hour devours about 27% of fuel economy in total. A Toyota Corolla in their test delivered 57.5 miles per gallon at 40 miles per hour, but managed only 30.9 at 80. Dropping from 70 to 65 on your regular commute could hand you back around $200 over 12 months. 4 out of 5 vehicles rolling down American roads right now carry underinflated tires, a statistic NHTSA confirmed when they found only 19% of consumers bother maintaining proper pressure. Department of Energy numbers show properly inflated tires boost gas mileage by an average of 0.6%, climbing as high as 3% in some vehicles, while every single PSI drop below recommended pressure across all 4 tires steals about 0.2% of fuel economy. Daily fuel waste from this single issue reaches 3.56 million gallons across the United States, piling up to over 1.3 billion gallons thrown away annually. A sticker inside your driver's door jamb lists the correct pressure rather than the number molded into the tire sidewall, and monthly checks when tires sit cold take less time than brewing coffee. Restarting your engine supposedly guzzles more fuel than letting it idle, or so the old wisdom claims. Argonne National Laboratory killed that myth with hard numbers. 10 seconds marks the break-even point, meaning any stop lasting longer than that burns less fuel if you shut the engine off and restart when you're ready to move. Idling gulps roughly a quarter to half a gallon per hour depending on engine displacement and whether the AC is cranking according to their measurements. $3 gas turns that into 75 cents to $1.50 per hour evaporating while your car sits motionless. Modern fuel-injected engines need no warm-up period either, and manufacturers recommend pulling away after just 30 seconds, even in winter because gentle driving warms the engine faster than idling ever could. Component wear from extra restarts adds approximately $10 yearly to maintenance costs based on Argonne's calculations. Fuel savings from cutting idle time, though, $70 to $650 per year, and that math answers the question definitively. Decades of arguing over AC versus open windows finally met actual testing when the Society of Automotive Engineers teamed up with General Motors. Open windows at 55 to 65 miles per hour drag sedan fuel efficiency down by roughly 20%, with SUVs taking about an 8% hit. Maximum AC, meanwhile, costs 5 to 25% of fuel economy compared to running nothing, hitting hardest on short trips through scorching heat. Speed determines which choice bleeds less money. Oak Ridge National Laboratory threw both a Ford Explorer and Toyota Corolla onto the test and found that at 75 miles per hour, running AC on full blast actually beat open windows for efficiency. 45 miles per hour sits roughly at the crossover, so drop windows below that speed and flip on the AC above it. Empty roof racks and cargo boxes create drag you're paying for with every mile. Oak Ridge National Laboratory measured the penalty at 2 to 8% during city driving, 6 to 17% on highways, and 10 to 25% on interstates above 65 miles per hour. A quarter of your fuel economy can disappear just from aerodynamic drag caused by gear you're not even using. Hauling extra weight stings too, with every 100 pounds stuffed in your vehicle shaving about 1% off fuel economy. Clear out the junk and pull that cargo carrier down when you're not actually heading somewhere. Pickup drivers hear constantly that dropping the tailgate boosts fuel economy, and the exact opposite turns out to be true. Consumer Reports strapped testing equipment to a 2013 Dodge Ram Vi8 at 65 miles per hour and recorded 22.3 miles per gallon with the tailgate latched up. Dropping it down pulled efficiency to 21.5, which is measurably worse. Mythbusters ran the same experiment twice across separate episodes and reached identical conclusions. Airflow physics explain what's happening back there. Tailgate up, air sweeps over the bed and forms a smooth bubble that deflects wind across the back of the truck. Tailgate down, that bubble collapses into turbulent vortices that grab the air and increase drag. Ford's own aerodynamicists found tonneau covers deliver 8 to 10% fuel economy gains for drivers wanting a real aerodynamic upgrade. Morning fill-ups supposedly deliver denser fuel because cooler temperatures pack more energy into each gallon, and this advice falls apart completely when you understand how gas stations store fuel. Underground tanks sit insulated by earth and maintain a steady temperature around 62 degrees Fahrenheit, no matter what the thermometer reads above ground. AAA tackled this myth directly by explaining that the premise assumes nighttime temperatures drop and cooler fuel becomes denser, But buried storage tanks experience none of those fluctuations. Even imaginary temperature swings from 60 to 75 degrees would shift fuel volume by just 1%. Pump gas whenever your schedule allows because the clock on the wall changes nothing. More than 100 alleged gas-saving devices and additives have passed through EPA testing over the years, and not a single product delivered significant mileage improvements. Some of these miracle solutions actually damaged engines or spiked emissions according to agency findings. 6 or 7 devices showed any measurable benefit whatsoever, with none of those cracking 6% improvement, which lands miles short of packaging claims. FTC enforcement actions have chased multiple companies for false advertising, including an $800,000 settlement with EnviroTabs makers in 2013, alongside cases against Zemax, Duralube, and other brands. John Millett from the EPA captured the situation perfectly when he pointed out that if these products worked, manufacturers would build cars that way from the factory. Skepticism toward miracle fuel-saving claims remains the only rational position, because evidence backing them simply doesn't exist. Maintenance delivers the largest savings on this entire list, and gas stations gain nothing by mentioning it since their products play no role. 40% of your fuel economy can vanish from a single faulty oxygen sensor, making it the most devastating efficiency killer any driver faces. Wheel alignment drifting out of spec drains up to 10% of fuel economy, while a needed tune-up recovers about 4%. Running the correct motor oil grade specified for your vehicle adds another 1 to 2%. Department of Energy guidance sums up the total opportunity when it states that smooth acceleration, steady braking, speed limit compliance, idle reduction, and weight removal can combine to improve fuel economy by up to a third depending on current driving habits. 13 ways to keep more money in your wallet that gas station owners will never volunteer. Their 3 to 7 cents per gallon depends on you wandering inside to overpay for snacks rather than optimizing at the pump. Stop buying premium if your car runs fine on regular and you reclaim roughly $300 a year. Hunt for top-tier stations where 3 extra cents per gallon keeps carbon from choking your engine. Check tire pressure monthly since 4 out of 5 drivers skip this entirely. Lay off aggressive acceleration and braking patterns and chase down any glowing check engine light to test that oxygen sensor. AAA, Consumer Reports, and the Department of Energy all confirm that stacking these changes together can push fuel economy up 20 to 30% or beyond. Real money flows back into your pocket at every single fill-up from here forward. Thanks for watching.